And a good evening to all of our wheelchair rugby fans from all around the world. We've got a Friday night game, the big matchup between Japan and Australia. We're bringing you live here from the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium for the 2023 World Wheelchair Rugby Asia-Oceania Championships. My name is Alex Hatton. I'll be doing the live commentary. And in here with me in the booth is Mr. Adam Frost. How are you doing, Adam?
We're doing well. Thank you for asking,
well?
Alex. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in the big matchup between Japan and Australia here?
Well, I'm hoping we see what we saw yesterday, which was a fantastic game between these two teams. As we all know, this is Game 4. Japan is at 3-0, so if they win this game, they'll clinch that spot in the finals tomorrow. And Australia at 2-1, they win this game. That'll make both these teams 3-1, which means the worst either of these teams can do is a three-way tie for first, and both these teams have an advantage in tiebreaker scenarios already. So,
well, we'll be back with you in just about 10 minutes, so enjoy the opening before that. And here we go. We are underway for the big matchup here. It's a Friday night here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. And we're happy to bring you the big matchup between the world-ranked number 2 Australia and number 3 Japan. They played each other last night, and they're going to play again tonight in front of this very electric crowd. And oh, that was a great catch by EK, but not quite in reach. By the way, my name is Alex Hatton. I'll be the commentary, and
Adam
I'm
Frost.
here with Adam Frost. Thanks for joining us. That was a big play there.
Yeah, a very exciting catch by EK. Unfortunately, his casters were across the line before he caught it. But I was going to say they did a better job with the tip-off. Yesterday they lost the tip-off with the mismatch they had and won it today. But then obviously aren't able to score the first try.
It's an important aspect of the game to try and get that first run to get a try, which Australia is going to be the first one to get on the board. As number 3, Riley Batt is going to be the one to get on the board first. So we've got, on Japan, we've got sort of the usual sort of starting lineup. We've got the EK Ikizaki combination. Got a bit of a different lineup on the Australian side, right?
Well, this is the first time we've seen Coach Struberly start his balanced lineup with Shea Graham and Andrew Edmondson. So, giving them some experience to start the game at a high level like this. So that's great.
Okay. Yep, so we've got Riley Batt, number 14 Edmondson, and number 12.
Nice hand there by
but that was a good turnover.
Deflect that ball and create the turnover. So Japan gets that lead back right away.
So a great turnover there for Japan. They call it up, and oh, what a pass from Riley Batt, and just in time to get there. Edmondson again. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that happening.
Like we saw yesterday, he got that inbound in and then got down the court to be an option. So certainly one of his roles.
So we've got a very fast game to begin things off here. EK looking for someone to pass to. He's going to pass it over to Ikizaki. And looking for space. But, Riley Batt gets his arm in there.
Penalty try awarded for the...
So that was a penalty try. So that's been awarded to Japan. So that's the third try for Japan.
Yeah. Illegal use of hands.
And so that's inbounded to Riley Batt once again. And Riley Batt getting a lot of pressure from EK Nikizaki, but he's able to keep them off.
Yeah, good effort by EK to keep up with Riley there, but unfortunately unable to stop them from scoring the try ultimately.
So some very sort of fast and aggressive plays from both sides early on in this game. EK, and that is stopped there by Riley Batt.
Looks like Edmondson must have made contact on the arm because he's over to spend 60 seconds in the box.
Yep, so they're going to send him into the penalty box. He's going to be in there for a minute or until Japan scores another try.
Not quite at the same pace we were at yesterday. Only 6 tries, almost 2 minutes into the game. Yesterday we were at 10 tries by this point in time. So it seems quick, but obviously a bit quicker yesterday. So
it's been quick in the sense that this was sort of the first penalty, but when you look at the game clock, hasn't been actually too much. So. And Japan got their 4th try. Edmondson over to Riley Batt. He's going to quickly turn around there. Bounces the ball. And he's held on to that. And a nice pass there. He's going to get that over to Edmondson. Another Batt to Edmondson combination there. They're doing a good job tracking each other down. And Ikizaki finds the open space. And we saw a good sort of defense from Ikizaki, who was keeping the other players. The Australian players were sort of very close to Ikizaki, and that opened up room for EK, right?
They had two players on Ikizaki trying to stop him from touching the ball, obviously. But once that ball comes in, starts to move up the court, it's it's tough to keep a double team on somebody who doesn't have the ball.
Right. Yep, keeping the double team does prevent you from them getting the ball, but it does open up another player. So it's a very sort of hard decision to make to decide who you're going to mark. And
the rule that we used to use about that was once the ball got over half, you would release the double team because because you got to defend your goal.
That is a priority. Adam Frost was the head coach for Japan from 2013 to 14, so you've played with some of these Japanese players as a coach, and you've also played against Brad Dubberly and the Australian squad here. So
I've
seen a lot of their
certainly
tactics.
Seen a lot of Australia over my days. Japan. I think that they awarded a timeout to Japan in that situation.
Is that a equipment?
Or no?
No, that's a penalty for.
Yeah, he made that signal with the T, so perhaps it was a technical foul. We saw this in the game this morning. When a player's in a compromised position, like one wheel off the ground, you're not allowed to hit him again to sort of continue to knock him over. And that must have been what the referee called there.
So Ike is going to take their time on that 4-3 advantage that they had there.
Yeah, well, obviously he was taking his time so that they could get their defense set up against Riley, and they did triple T in him and not let him get the first touch. But as soon as that ball came in, they let him go, and now he has it.
So it's back to
which
Riley
sort of
again.
reinforces
So,
a little bit what we were just talking about with the double on.
Right.
So how long do you keep?
So essentially, Australia doing exactly what Japan did to them a couple minutes ago.
It's very similar for sure.
Which is why these two teams are very competitive against each other. They have a lot of history playing against each other, and that's Riley Bat tried to get to that, but Ike was able to take control of that, and Ikizaki makes a great pass to the moving Ike, and he's gonna get in there.
Yeah, I thought that was a very nice inbound by Wakayama there to get the ball over top of Riley to Ike.
Right, because once they were able to get it there, from there they were able to make that quick pass, which really kept sort of Riley Bat out of all the action.
Yeah, Riley doesn't sit as tall in his chair as Ike does, but it's always amazed me how high he's able to get. You watch him on tip-offs, he can elevate, get one wheel off the ground, and make himself a lot bigger than he looks.
The Statue of Liberty, Ike, that we like to call him.
Yeah.
And similar sort of pass there once again to Ike.
A little bit easier for the offense that time, for sure. Nice job by the low pointers to help the ball carriers there. You don't get assists, but if you did in this game, he would certainly deserve one there.
Yep, you can't exactly see it on the screen at times, but there was a lot of sort of pressure that they were putting onto Riley Bat there from the two low pointers on the court.
Nice defensive effort there by Japan to force Australia into a corner where Riley didn't really have anywhere to go. We sort of talked a little bit about that yesterday, using those lines as defenders. When guys have the kind of ability that Riley has, and he's going to beat most people in the open court, so forcing them into those danger zones just gives you a big advantage.
So the pressure that they put on him was very effective, and it essentially forced a timeout from Australia, so they took their timeout.
Yeah, that was our first timeout of the game. Just in case this is your first game, each team does get 4 30-second timeouts that they can use to avoid turnovers or violations, like we just saw there.
Awesome. And we've got Chris Bond now, who has joined us on the court.
Yeah, both teams have made subs.
Yep.
Australia's gone back to their more traditional 3-5-3-5.5.5, and Japan is playing another high-low, but 3-5-3-1.5 with Hashimoto. They're up and coming.
Really sort of the high-low combination here, and Hashimoto has been playing a lot with the number 13, Shimakawa, who has just scored the try. He's the top veteran of the team, so we've got the youngster and the the top veteran. They've been playing together quite a bit.
It is a pairing that KO is quite likes. I've seen him use it quite a bit this tournament and in other tournaments.
Well, we've seen a lot of good chemistry from them, and that's a very hard hit from Hashimoto onto Chris Bond. But Chris Bond is able to speed pass and but what a great turnover there.
Yeah, quick hands by Shimakawa to get that ball off of Bond's lap and create another turnover for Japan.
What a great hit from Ogawa. Great defense there. Allows for Hashimoto to go in with a try. Some really good, that was a good turnover, and then a really good sort of block from Ogawa. And Hashimoto was able to put his shots on and just make his way all the way to the end. So that gives Japan the two-point lead. Australia just scored, so that's one again, but Japan is on the offense now, so if they can score a try here, they're going to continue with a 2-point lead. And Hashimoto up against Rally Bat there. Looking for, and once again Ogawa. And the perfect spot, Hashimoto over to Shimakawa, and that's another try for Japan. So they're going to keep their 2-point lead here.
Another unofficial assist for the low pointer there.
Yes. You can really see the importance of the unofficial assists that you mentioned there. And Rally Bat's going to be able to make it past. They try their best to get in his way, but he is fast and strong and is able to
really hard to stop in the open court.
No.
Really hard.
Yep, you really need a couple guys on him to really stop him from going anywhere.
Yeah, at least.
At least, right? But some great moves from Shimakawa, and that is going to be another try. He's able to maneuver his way around all of the players and make it in. And that's a good stop from Michael Zane to let Chris Bond get through. Chris Bond is going to be able to get through and on to Riley Bat.
Yep. I think it's only fair if we award unofficial assists to the Japanese low pointers. We have to do the same for the Australian low pointers. And
so that was
they
a
were
great
very valuable on that possession.
Right. Unofficial assist from Ozane. We need a statistic for that.
We do.
You
can track it.
I'll do my best.
Oops.
And wasn't quite able to get control of the ball there, but he gets that. Nice pad over to Rally Bat, and that's once again that was a good unofficial assist there from Ozan.
Yeah, lucky. Obviously, McQuillan double clutched on that ball. It's lucky that he didn't come onto the court as he was doing that.
That would have been penalized for that.
Yeah.
And I believe we got so James McQuillan is in the penalty box, I believe, right?
Yeah, I didn't see what his violation was.
And
good effort, great effort there by Chris Bond to get wheel position on Shimakawa and force that tough pass for Hashimoto to get and turn over Japan. With a man in the box. So 3-on-4, they were able to create a turnover.
So not an easy task when you're down one player, especially when it's a 4-on-3.
Well, yeah, it's not an easy task when you're down a player, and you also have to be careful because you can't take a penalty.
Right. And what a pass. And they're going to get the try here on the shorthand, and that's going to tie the game up. So not exactly what Japan had intended going into that power play, we might say. They have an extra player. Still got the extra player. And we'll see if they can capitalize on this advantage before the time runs out. And Hashimoto is going to...
looks like Japan is going to slow things down and manage the clock as we get towards the end of this quarter here.
We're down to the last minute, and he's probably going to wait for another couple seconds, and he does. And stopped it exactly at 55.0. So that's a textbook play, right? You want to stop it around 55, right? So
yeah.
So Australia has, and they get a very quick try there, though. That's they get it within not even 4 seconds. That was 3.7 seconds. So
yeah, when you're on when you score 55 and you're on defense, the goal is to try to force the other team to take at least 15 seconds to score, so you get that last possession.
But this won't allow Japan for the last possession, but they get a very quick try too in return.
Yeah, but now Australia is going to be able to score last try if they decide.
But they'll have to use up pretty much the full 40 seconds if they want to secure the last try, which looks like what they're trying to do as he sort of maneuvered back.
My target in these situations is always 6 seconds. If you try and score the try around 6 seconds, you should be able to defend your goal with 6 seconds or left in the quarter, in my opinion. And if something happens like one of the other team wheels out of bounds and you have to inbound the ball again or something, that 6 second window gives you a bit of time to run a play 4-on-3 or something like that. Too many times I see teams try and take it right down to 0, and then
they wait too long.
They wait too long. Somebody wheels out of bounds, and then they've got 2 seconds to try to score that try.
And essentially, they'd be sort of wasting a opportunity they had. To make secure a try there, right? So
it's great to be. It's great to score that last try, but sometimes they're just trying to be too close to 0, in my opinion.
And exactly as you said, they scored the try at 5.7. And that's Japan has just a few seconds left, so he's going to lob a long pass. It's not going to quite make it in. Still, the first period ends at 15-15. I believe in yesterday's game, first period ended in a tie.
It was about the same score,
right? So seeing some very strong wheelchair rugby from both teams. We're going to go into a 3-minute break, so we'll be back with you right after the break. And yep, hello to you too, Juice Mole. Thank you for your comment on the chat. We are underway here with the second period. Let us know in the chat comments how you're enjoying the game. If you have any questions about the game, let us know. Let us know who you're enjoying the game with, whether you're watching with friends or family, who you're cheering for. It'd be great if we can enjoy the game all together. And with that being said, number 3, Riley Bat with the try right there, and that's going to put Australia on the board at 16. And we are underway here for the second period. And Ike is able to get it past halfway line. Oh, but that's turned over. Great catch by McQuillan there, and he was able to pass it on to Riley Bat.
Yeah, quick hands by Bat to get that ball out of Shimakawa's lap, just like we saw Shim do to Bond in the first quarter.
I was actually able to talk to McQuillan earlier. I just went by to the bench to say hi, and he was a very nice fellow. And he told me that some of his friends are watching the live stream. So I'm going to give a shout out to Ben Newton and the QAS staff if you guys are watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the game as much as we are. And your buddy says hi, so let's cheer for them. And that's EK with a try there. We've got a very electric crowd here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium today, a Friday night. I think we have some beer servers walking around as well, so people are really enjoying the game here today. And hopefully we'll sort of see this happening as we go into the weekend as well. We'll have more games coming up on Saturday and Sunday. But before that, we've got the big matchup here with Australia and Japan.
Yeah, we've had some great crowds out this weekend. You know, some school children have been out during the day, really enjoyed the game and made the atmosphere in here fantastic. We've got a bit more of a mature crowd in here on a Friday night, but maybe by the second half and a few more beers, they'll be acting just like the 10-year-olds we saw a little earlier on today.
That's going to do the trick, definitely. As they say, when the adults drink, they start to get along with the younger ones. So we'll be seeing a very fun crowd here on a Friday night here in Tokyo. And Riley Bat with that, he rolls that over.
Looked like the ball just slipped out of Riley's hands there, but good. McQuillan's in the right spot to
get to that ball. Yep.
Quick timeout to avoid Japanese players being able to jump on the low pointer.
So Australia has used their second of 4 timeouts, or 4, I should say, player timeouts is the right term there?
30-second timeouts.
Okay, 30-second timeouts, right. As opposed to the 60-second timeouts that we have for the head coach. We
call those the coach timeouts because only the coach can really call those. Coach and players can call the 30-second timeouts.
Okay, right. And the 30-second timeouts are allowed in play.
Yeah.
Which is, once again, that's also a different point.
But the coach can't call it during a live ball, but the athletes can, yeah.
And so these timeouts are used very strategically in this game. And Riley Bat really moving quickly. Ike was right behind him, but wasn't able to quite catch up. Oh. And Riley Bat was just too fast.
Yeah, he was quick.
Yep, he was quick.
Yeah. And a lot of us have often speculated what it would be like to have this game without timeouts. It'd be interesting to try a couple of tournaments where teams don't get them and see how it affects the game.
That would be a very different game. I believe it would bring up more violations would occur.
It could go either way. It could keep the games. It could make the games a little bit more lopsided because if you have a stronger team and a weaker team and they don't get their timeouts, it could make the game out of reach a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Or it could make the game a way more entertaining. As when you've got even teams and
they don't have the option to sort of opt out of the play.
Yeah.
And there's Edmondson. He's been doing quite well this tournament. He has 15 tries over the last 3 games, and he's been in the right place at the right spot, doing his job, scoring tries, but also playing good defense as well. And Ikizaki has scored another try, so that's going to be 20 for Australia, 19 for Japan. We're still at a very close score, as expected from the two powerhouses here.
Well, if I remember correctly, Australia was up by 3 at the end of the first half.
Yesterday,
so sort of trending in the same direction at the moment.
Right.
So.
Australia has the 2-point lead here, so we'll see if they're able to extend the lead again, like they did yesterday.
Yep.
The score at the end yesterday was 53-46 for Japan, but the first half, as we just mentioned here, Australia was in the lead, and then Japan turned it over in the third period and was able to take it from there. And there's a try from Ikizaki. Australia and Japan have had a very long history of playing against each other. And I believe with Japan's win yesterday, that puts Japan at 7 wins now in a row against Australia, which is quite surprising considering that Australia are the latest world champions at the 2022 World Championships.
Yeah.
So two teams that are very strong and a very good rivalry here. So we're going to see another really good game.
Yeah, as we mentioned yesterday, Asia-Oceania has been a strong zone really since it became a Paralympic sport. Earlier on, it was New Zealand, and then Australia, and now Australia and Japan are both at the top of the table. So,
well, they're ranked number 2 and number 3 in the world as well, and they've generally sort of stayed in that area. Japan was ranked number 1 at one point, but they dropped a couple ranks after the World Championships in 2022. But these two teams have always been sort of at the top, competing against each other, playing some really good games against each other. So we'll see a good game today here, but the anticipated final, which is going to happen on Sunday, is most likely going to be between these two teams. And some of the plays that we're going to see here are going to be sort of preparing for that final as well, I believe.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like the two games we've seen so far, it's going to be a great final on Sunday, so quite looking forward to it.
So that was a long pass from Ike, who passed it over to Ikizaki. You see a lot of passing between them. And looks like we have a lot of comments from our viewers today here. We've got people watching from Australia and from the Netherlands. And we've got Emily Miller's husband apparently is also watching. Brad W.'s partner is also watching. We have a lot of our friends from Australia who are watching the game. And from elsewhere as well. So
hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for commenting.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been a really fun 2 days so far, and we're looking forward to the next 2 days as well. And you can hear we just heard the crowd cheering really loudly there. They're really excited about this game as well. It's been a really good atmosphere in the gymnasium. It's to the point that at some point we're not going to be able to hear each other. It's getting louder and louder, so we have to raise our voices and talk loud.
Yeah, it's a very true statement, and we are only a foot apart. So
yeah, we're right next to each other, but with all the clapping and all the cheering, and it's also great. Japan did have some pretty strict COVID restrictions in terms of using your voice to cheer up until last year, but this year all the spectators are able to cheer and shout and go back to life as it was before the pandemic. So we're hearing a lot of that throughout the tournament, and that's really great. And Ikizaki with a nice pass over to Ike.
Yeah, teams seem to be in a groove. They're executing their offenses and scoring quick goals right now, so keeping us very entertained.
And a lot of very aggressive tackling there in the middle. But they were managed to get the ball to Riley Bat there. But some good opposition there. But Riley Bat gets through. And he's able to take it all the way himself. Some really good support from his teammates.
Good effort. I think Riley took a fist in the chin.
A fist in the chin, yeah.
Along the way there.
Yeah.
So pointing that out to one of the referees. Yeah, this balance lineup for Australia is doing a great job. I seem to remember yesterday they struggled a little bit on their inbounds. You know, we pointed out that Edmondson was doing a great job leaking out, but they did have a couple of tough shifts, so it's nice to see them get it together this game and have a good run there.
Yep, you can really see the chemistry there, and they're going to give that team a bit of a breather, and we're going to see some new players here on the court for Australia. And that's Shimakawa again, so we've seen some new players again for both sides. This is sort of, I guess, the line 2, you might say, for Team Japan, right?
Yeah, line 2 for Team Japan, or line 3 or line 4. It's hard to know because they've got 4 really good lines. And don't see the Chris Bond, Jaden Warren combination very often, so see how they do.
Yep, Jaden Warren was the youngest member in 2016. He's still 29, so fairly young player, and he's going to join Riley Bat. And a long pass there.
Nice pass by Hashimoto to a streaking Shimakawa.
We're seeing the really good chemistry from these two throughout the tournament so far.
Yeah, they work well together for sure.
And seeing some good defense from Hasegawa and Ogawa as well. This line has been working really well together.
That was a nice pass.
Yeah.
One of the things we saw yesterday was after Chris Warren got the ball, he was hanging on to it a little bit too long before he would move it or wheel with it. So obviously adjusted today and see if he continues to make great plays like that.
Right. That was a really good pass, and they're taking things back from their defeat yesterday and bringing it into this game. So they definitely want to win today and take that momentum into the finals.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what the game plan is. We're coming into the game. As soon as that tip-off happens, it changes to winning.
Right. That's essentially, at the end of the day, that's the sole purpose. So, you know, that's the only thing that everyone is going to focus on. And we're down to the last minute here. And Chris Bond is going to take a turn there, and is he going to...
four in the key.
And there are 4 Japanese players were in the key.
Yeah, so looks like the low pointer Hashigawa is the one chosen, must have been the 4th player in the key, so he will sit in the penalty box. So sort of will allow Australia to manage the clock in any way they want to here, given the man advantage the last minute.
Now, are they going to... Japan's going to try and prevent that from happening, but Chris Bond is able to get through. 46 seconds left. So is Japan going to try and use up as much time as they can to try and score here, or? It's a tough call, right?
It's a tough call. They could kill the clock and use their timeout and go for last goal. They could just try to score as close to 0 as they want. They could just run their offense and take their chance on defense. Given that Riley is off the court, maybe they're a bit more confident against this line. No, not
so
surprisingly
we'll see
though, they are going
here,
to pull up and manage the clock.
Okay, so they're going to wait a little bit longer, and they do have all their timeouts left as well, so
might as well use them.
Yeah, they might be the plan there. And clock is down to just 8 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that Jake Howe had gone into the penalty box.
Yeah.
So that's even more of an advantage for Japan here because, Australia has to be careful with their defense, given they won't want to take a penalty with the player in the box. And Coach Orr puts out Ike to
so
give him a bit more height in that key, possibly, and a bit safer inbound.
Right, so they got the high reach Ike. Great pass from Norimatsu there, and Ike is going to pass it over to Shimakawa. Shimakawa's going to wait until 0.8.
I was saying the 6-second rule in the first quarter, but with a player in the box, the other team can't wheel out of bounds to stop the clock. So less chance of an issue in this situation, right?
So in that sense, having that player in the penalty box allowed them basically to run out the clock right until the end, make sure that they definitely get that.
My rule when I was coaching is no penalties in the last 2 minutes. It just gives the other team too big of an advantage, in my opinion. So.
Well, that was the first half. Australia 29, Japan 28. And we'll be back with you after the 10-minute break.
gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. About others way before myself, yeah. I guess that's why I feel like I go through hell, damn. Wasting time on your dreams instead of mine, yeah. About to turn this franchise around on a dime, man. It's all about finding your right state of mind. It's all about turning the worst into fine. It's all about time and the work and the climb. From the thirst we will rise, I'm immersed in this life. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first.
And Washoy is shouted by the arena announcer, and everyone in the arena has shouted Washoy, means let's go in Japanese. Got a very electric atmosphere here at the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium, and we're going into the third period. We also have a lot of spectators here with us on the live stream. Sorry I wasn't able to catch some of your comments. I'm just going to go through them real quick. We have our friend from the Netherlands, actually a former 0.5 Dutch team member, so I hope you're enjoying the game there. Also have some of Brad Dubberly's family and friends. Gonna give a shout out to Beth, Anita, Ava, Michelle, Chris, and Ruby. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you are enjoying the game as much as we are. And we've got a lot of other friends here from Australia and other places around the world. Let us know in the comments how you're enjoying the game. I will try my best to keep up with the comments as well as the game. But we've got a very exciting game here, so
we'll
do. See. Yep.
Tied, 30-30.
Back to 30-30.
Here in the third quarter, so still anybody's game.
So 30-30, it's a tennis score, 30 love, we might say, right?
That is a tennis score.
But not for long, because Riley Bat
31-30 is not a tennis
so
score.
We're not playing tennis here. We are playing wheelchair rugby. And with that, Ike makes it right through. Some good defense there. Making a very wide lane open for Ike to make the try there. So both teams going back and forth, scoring a try each at the beginning of this third period. Riley Bat makes a quick turn there. Spinning around, he's looking for an open space, and oh! And who's going to get to that? And that's going to be
remains Australia's ball.
Australian, yep.
Yeah, it looks like it ended up going off of Norimatsu's front end at the end of the day. So, bit of a break there for Australia.
Some good defense there, though, from Japan. They almost had the turnover.
Yeah.
Well, Australia is able to keep possession, and Edmondson is going to try and find an opening. He bounced the ball and passed it over to Riley Bat. Is he going to be able to find an opening? Japanese defense is being very aggressive, but wow, Riley Bat able to find just enough space for him to get through.
Decided to make his own space, I think, is what he did.
Right. Yeah, I guess he didn't really find it, but more that he made the space.
Yeah.
Well, that's Riley Bat for you. He's got not just the speed, but the power.
Yeah, very
and
powerful.
He was able to just power his way through. But there we go. Wow. Real great speed from the 48-year-old Shinichi Shimakawa. And no one was able to keep up with him there. Had some really good speed. And we're going to see,
good timeout call there by Edmondson as Shimakawa met him at center.
Okay, that's the danger zone as.
Danger zone, yeah. Okay. Avoided the over and back call. That leaves one timeout now for Australia.
Right. So they're going to have to, the next timeout is going to have to be used very wisely, especially with the score being very close like this.
Yeah. Well, as we saw this morning, just because a team runs out of timeouts, it doesn't always cost them. You know, just forces them to make plays that they may not normally make. Which it makes it more exciting for us sometimes.
Right. And some pressure there was put on Riley Bat and Edmondson, but they're able to get out of there.
Yeah, but working in a bit of a phone booth, it looked like. But some open court now, and drives EK out of bounds for the penalty try.
Right. So
looks like Coach Orr is going to use his first.
Using a bench timeout. So that's the first bench timeout for Japan. And we can keep track of the numbers here on the scoreboard that you can see on your left-hand side on the screen. The green numbers there are the player timeout, or the 30-second timeouts that we have. So Australia's got one left, as we mentioned earlier. Japan's got 3 left. And then the ones that are next to each of those green numbers, those are the head coach timeouts that we have. So each team has used one, and they've got one left each.
Yeah, it looks like that timeout was just to make substitutions. Obviously, Coach Orr was seeing something that he didn't quite like, so made a change.
And with that change, brought Ikizaki, who has scored a try there. And the two teams are keeping the even score here. And
great job by the Japanese ones there to keep Chris Bond from being able to move and forces that errant pass.
Right. And wow, can you hear that?
Well, we said really second half in the viewers.
Yeah, right. We are in the second half. People are getting more and more excited, and we're going to, with how things are going here in this game, we're going to hear the crowd get louder and louder.
Australia was forced to use their fourth timeout there as Jake Howe didn't see a receiver that he was able to get the ball to and was running out of time. You've only got 10 seconds. Once the referee gives you the ball and blows your whistle, you've only got 10 seconds to inbound the ball.
Inbound the ball, right?
Yeah,
okay.
So
he took that timeout. So Australia are out of the 30-second timeouts now, so they'll have to play without them from this point on. And Riley Bat really trudging his way along, makes a great pass there to number 10, Chris Bond, the captain. And so we're at 34 apiece. Ike with the ball, he's gonna take it in. Ikizaki putting pressure on Bat and Bond there. Works out really well.
Yeah, nice patience by Ike to sort of slow it down and follow his picks up the court.
He found a good opening that was created by his teammates. Both Imai and Ikizaki were there to support him there. And Jake Howe is going to inbound that ball. And Riley with the try there. Speaking of Riley here, we've got a comment from Riley's partner and family here on the sunny coast cheering on these legends. So hello to you there. We're enjoying Riley's play as much as you are, hopefully. So,
yeah, that was a great catch by him on that inbound because looked like he got popped in the rear wheel.
And that's a big tumble there.
Referee's calling a spin in that situation, so looks like contact was made in the back part of the wheel, causing Ikizaki to spin and basically fall out of his chair.
Spinning foul, as
spinning
we
foul,
call, right? Okay. Yep, you're allowed to make tackles from the front and the side, I believe, but not from behind.
You got to make contact. I mean, you're allowed to make contact in any part of the chair, but there has, in order for there to be a spin, there has to be a danger element to it. So, generally, you want to make contact in the front part of the chair.
Right.
But if you make contact in the real part of the chair and the guy's sitting still and there's no danger, there's no foul.
Right.
The only time you're allowed to hit in the back of the chair is when the player's actually wheeling backwards, because that makes the back of their chair actually the front of the chair in that situation.
So depending on the direction that they're moving, the rule changes a little bit. But Japan is able to capitalize on that penalty, and they score their 36th try. And we see Bond to bat there. And Jake Howe did a good job of keeping Hashimoto close to him, opening up enough space for Riley Bat to make his way through. And here we go, Ogawa is going to inbound the ball.
Japan's going to have to work their way back to the inbound here. They're a bit far out of the inbounder's range. Yeah. Nice defense by Australia. We call that a deny, so basically stopping the inbound from happening.
Right, because they were too far away for Ogawa to make that good pass.
Yeah.
And by keeping his teammates away from sort of the key zone. So good defense there from Australia, right? So good strategic play there from Australia, forcing a timeout out of Japan's allocated 4 timeouts. They're down to 2 more.
Yep.
So we'll see if that may change the course of the game towards the end, but Hashimoto with the speed.
Yeah, nice
makes
turn.
A nice pass.
Turn and acceleration there by Hashimoto, sort of surprised Riley and left him behind.
He's got, as you said, really good acceleration there. And we've seen a lot of that throughout this tournament. Hashimoto is the youngest player of this team. He's 21 years old. Made his debut at age 16, so he's a very young and upcoming player. And that's Jaden Warren. Makes a try there.
Shimakawa able to get through that gap there.
Made it,
The 2 high pointers from Australia, almost able to sandwich him.
So both teams going back and forth with a try each. As expected of the high level from these teams, not too many sort of mistakes. Each team is really sort of being able to do what they're intending to do on every play.
Yep.
And Riley is going to be able to power his way through that. Some good pressure there from Ogawa, but wasn't quite enough to keep Riley Bat away.
Yeah,
he's able to get through. And now we got Hashimoto over to Shimakawa, and that's something that we've seen a lot of. It's not anything new, so they two have been really working really well this tournament together. And Jane Warren is going to cross line there. And a really good tackle there from Shimakawa. And he's going to pass it over to Riley Bat, who is going to try and look for an opening. And Jack Howe is going to try and make some room for them there. But
yeah, Algawa lost space in the court there. His big wheel hit the try line.
I see.
Penalty try awarded to Australia.
So some good pressure there from number 4, Jake Howe, I believe. Yep. And some good pressure there against Hashimoto, but
good job by Hashimoto to turn and pick up his pickers, who were effective against Riley, which is much harder than it looks.
And Hashimoto really showing his fast acceleration there. Was able to make his way up the court really quickly and smoothly make his way across the try line. And Jane Warren's trying to do the same, but good defense from Ogawa.
Yeah, able to stop Warren's momentum and give this defense a chance to catch up. Obviously, Riley scores.
Australia did score, but definitely some good pressure there.
Yeah.
And with that, we're in the last minute and a half almost for this third period.
Yeah.
And once again, Hashimoto to Shimakawa. And that puts Japan at 41, Australia at 40.
It'll be interesting to see if Australia is able to score the last goal of this quarter. As we know, they have no timeouts, and it is Japan's possession arrow, so they will be starting with the ball in this fourth quarter, assuming there's no jumps between now and then. So it's important for Australia to score this last goal to keep it a one-try game.
Keep it tied, right? Yep. So the time management here is going to be very important going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Riley Bat's going to try to power his way through, but
running out of time. But
once again, he's going to make it through.
Creates his own gap.
Ogawa looked a little bit frustrated that he wasn't able to quite stop him there, but still some really good pressure from him. And what a great long pass there. And Hashimoto is going to make the turn. And with just...
So my guess is that Japan will use a timeout here.
Okay.
And
make sure that they don't allow Australia with the...
give themselves the best chance to score the last try.
Okay. So we'll see if they take the timeout here.
Japan or Australia can't take a penalty, or that just bails them out.
There we go. Yep. Hashimoto takes a timeout, and we've got 13 seconds left on the game clock. So Japan will try to make sure that they can secure the last try of this period.
Yeah, they put their veterans out there, Ike and Ikezaki, and Duberly's countered, I think, with the balance. Wants to get Nicholson out there with that low pointer chair to see if he can help deny this last goal.
Right. So we got both the offensive and defensive strengths here. And Ikezaki is going to wait a little and pass it over to Ike.
So obviously Japan converted there, but there's an example of, I think, where they're just trying to be a little bit too fine, right? you know, there was 4 seconds left.
Right.
Why didn't he just score
yeah.
the try, right? Why make that extra pass and take the chance, right? So,
pretty risky move there, considering that the defense sort of came around behind him and almost denied him of a try. They were able to make the try there, so the result was okay, but... And we will be going into a 3-minute break here. We'll be back with you in the fourth quarter in just a moment. And here we go. We are in the final period of this big matchup between Japan and Australia. We had a question in our comments here about the classification numbers being on the player. We're actually not really sure when this started, but it's definitely a very recent thing that they've been doing the last couple of years. And as it says in the comments, it's definitely fan-friendly, but it's also good for us too, you know. We do have all the data in front of us and in our heads, but sometimes it's good to, you know, just have that there, and it's easy for everyone, I think, you know, to
I
just
agree.
see that.
It's a benefit to the sport having the players' classifications on the back, and I wish I knew the exact date for you, but it's been happening for the last couple of years. So.
And it's probably especially good for our sort of new viewers as well, who are sort of learning about how the classifications work as well. So it's another sort of development in the sport. And that's gonna roll past.
Yeah.
And turned over to Ikizaki. Holds on, makes the pass over to Ike, and he's able to get it across the line to Norimatsu. Ikizaki, and he is in for the try, and they're going to take a 2-point lead here.
Yeah.
And you can really hear the crowd here.
Yeah. Riley's a little disappointed in himself, I think, from that pass. And obviously Japan has taken a 2-try lead here with 7 minutes to go in the fourth. So see if Australia can get that one back.
Right. So that was a big turnover for Japan. Rally to Edmondson. Seen that many times throughout this tournament as well. And they're able to get the try there. And Norimatsu hops it over to Ike and then gets that to Ikizaki. A lot of pressure put on Ikizaki, but Hasegawa helps him out there. And that's going to be enough for Ikizaki to get open. So some really good help there from Hasegawa.
Yep, great job.
And he got a long pass there. Really Bat's able to get to that. And so really good, strong pressure from Norimatsu and Ikizaki, who trap him in the middle. But he's able to, get a good pass, and what a catch there.
By Edmondson,
yeah.
Wow.
But the Edmondson now is trapped, but what a good pass there to Riley Bat. Who's gonna, he finds an opening. And is able to maneuver his way through all of the opposition there and make his way in for a try. Some really good aggressive plays from both sides on that play there.
Well, that's, when you're out of timeouts and
right.
get into trouble,
right.
you gotta
have
move that ball.
You have to get out of it. Yep.
Yeah, great job by Riley to find Edmondson there, and good
right.
job by Edmondson to put himself in a spot where he could catch the ball. Right. So.
Yep, they were able to really find each other in all of the commotion there, and same goes right there.
Yeah, I think he wanted to throw that ball a little bit further. It must have just come out of his hands in an odd way, because looks like pass was a little bit short.
Right. And there's a substitution. It's going to happen here. And timeout from the Australian team. This is a coach's timeout. So Australia have now used up all their timeouts. And we've got the Hashimoto and Shimakawa, Ogawa, and I believe Hasegawa's staying on, right? Yep.
Yep. One of the players I've been very impressed with this game and this tournament is number 5 from Australia, McQuillan. I was concerned because Australia doesn't have really their starting lineup from Worlds, because Ben Fawcett isn't here, and I was worried that maybe with the new 0.5 having to play so many minutes that it might cost Australia, but he's done tremendously well.
Right.
I can see a big difference in his play between Worlds and this tournament. Just his positioning and the way he's attacking or positioning himself for picks is I'm seeing an improvement from Worlds. So great job by him.
And that's another good play there. And Shimakawa is able to get through. And we've got some more comments. There's a lot of comments about cheering on the Steelers. Let's go Steelers. And also comments saying I feel OT coming on. So looking for an overtime. If Australia is able to tie this game up, we might be able to see some overtime. That would be super exciting. Also have some friends from Gippsland, Australia, cheering on Riley, Bond, Edmo, and Jabs. Go Aussies. And with that, that's Chris Bond who makes it pass.
Yeah, the crowd enjoying that 360 by Bat there, giving him a bit of a cheer for it.
Right. And also a shout out to Ryan Bond, the AKA Viking from Logan, Australia. Thanks for joining us today.
There you go. Australia's got that turnover back, so they'll be able to score to tie it up here, hopefully. And we'll get a little bit closer to that overtime people seem to be looking for.
And maybe not quite, though.
Yeah, I was looking at you. It's an over and back call by the referee, so...
So turnover is turned over again.
Turnover, yeah. I spoke too quick about overtime.
And that's a nice pass from Ogawa into Hashimoto, who's able to make it easily across the try line. We also have some fans supporting Japan on our live stream here. And oh, that's another mistake from Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, a poor exchange on the inbound there between the inbounder and Riley.
So this mistake could be costly for Australia at this time.
Well, I'm surprised that Japan is attacking so quickly. Why not waste a few more seconds?
Australia's going to get back in their key.
Right away.
You know.
Yep, Hashimoto wasted no time getting the try there. And oh, another turnover.
Yeah.
And Australia having difficulty with the inbound.
Oh, in and out by Shimakawa. So a little bit of focus for both teams here as we get late into the game, you know.
Well, both teams have played 3 games already this tournament, and they're in their 4th game. A lot of intense games too, so might see a little bit of drop in stamina at some point, but they are trudging along very strongly. So after a couple mistakes from Australia, Riley Bat is able to get a try there. And oh, that's dropped by Shimakawa, but he's able to retrieve that.
Japan does have a bit of an advantage here as Hasegawa has Chris Bond trapped in the corner, so it's 3 versus 4 for in Japan's favor at the moment.
Yep. And Riley Bat with the ball there. He's going to make a long pass, but that's going to get turned over. Shimakawa's there to retrieve that.
Momentum is definitely going Japan's way the last few possessions. So we'll see if Australia can reset.
Takes that in. And now that's going to be a 4-point lead, so definitely the few inbounds earlier from Australia that didn't go through are looking to be pretty costly for their team now with just 3 minutes left. And Bond is able to get past the opposition there for a try. And Hashimoto is going to take a little bit of time. Pass it over to Shimakawa, who is going to make his way across try line, keeping the 4-point lead there. So Australia have to just keep moving along aggressively, and makes that pass to Mike Ozan.
Well, it's got to come one turnover at a time. They still have a couple of minutes here. Start by scoring this try, and then see if they can get an advantage off after it goes in.
And so they're able to get that try, putting it back to a 3-point game. And Ogawa is looking for someone to pass to, and Hashimoto is there to pick up the ball. Hashimoto looking out for Shimakawa, as these two have been working together quite a bit. But by doing so, he creates a lane. And his teammates were able to distract sort of the other players and instead make an opening for Hashimoto to just speed his way through for the try there.
Yeah, Japan has such an advantage with, 4 really talented high pointers. Just seem a little bit more fresh at this point in the game than Bond and Bat, who have to obviously play a lot of minutes for Team Australia. So.
Yep. So Japan has as you mentioned, the advantage of switching these players, which they're going to do right here. Ikizaki coming in with Ike. Seeing this combination again.
Yeah, well, opportunity for Huxley Connolly here to
right.
see some minutes that he may not have seen if it was a closer game. So, obviously, from an entertainment perspective, we would love to have seen a one-goal game at this, one-try game at this point. But it's an opportunity for him, so we'll see what he does with it.
Definitely, this is a good experience for the youngster, Braden Foxley Connolly, the 18-year-old from Queensland. And takes the ball, getting pressured by Ikizaki and Imai. And a pass from Bond to Braden Foxley Connolly is able to take it across the try line. So there we go. He's on the board.
Impact right away. Good for him.
And he's shown some pretty good stuff throughout the tournament. He has 20 tries in this tournament, so that would be his 21st, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a new player at this level, but I think he's shown he belongs.
Right.
So, you know, that's great news for Australia. We were just saying they could use another high pointer, in my opinion.
Use another high pointer ace player.
Him over the next couple of years, that'll help their cause.
Definitely,
I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll be seeing a lot of him in the upcoming years. And Chris Bond looking out for Foxy Connolly, who's going to be able to get to that. And that's another try for him. So he's showing some good moves here in the final minutes. But Japan still with the 3-point lead here with just 53 seconds left. EK is going to toss that over to Imai. He's going to hold on to it for a little bit. And they're going to... Oh, and that's a held ball. So possession is...
It's pointing Japan's way. So they'll maintain possession.
So and they've got one more timeout left. They may end up using it, or they may just go along.
We'll see. Looks like they're just going to score and take the W at this point.
Yep, with a 4-point lead here with just 30 seconds, Japan has, I shouldn't say 100%, but basically secured their win in this game.
Well, it's more likely than not, and I'm sure now that they've regained possession on that.
All right.
After that inbound, that they'll score last goal here.
So we're down to the last 30 seconds. Japan with the 4-point lead. And EK is going to hold on to that. Take his time. And a little bit of pressure there from Ozan and Foxy Connolly. Ike passes to Ikizaki, who's going to accelerate and make his way across the try line with just a second left. And at this point, there's not much that Australia can do.
Yeah, I think that's obviously seals it for Japan. You know, obviously a bit of a momentum swing in the middle of that fourth quarter there to make it I guess a 5-try spread at the end. But otherwise, a great game by both teams and something to build on when I'm sure they meet each other again on Sunday.
Definitely, So that was a great game between Japan and Australia. Was a really close game up until the third period, but once again, you know, this is a sport of if you make a couple mistakes in a row, that's going to cost you, and that was the case for Australia today. But we will most likely see them again on Sunday for the final, so definitely join us again for the final. And we also have a bunch of games coming up tomorrow again. It's going to be Saturday, July 1st, and we have 10:30 is going to be Japan versus New Zealand, 12:30 Japan versus Korea, and 4:30 in the afternoon, Korea versus Japan. And 7 p.m. is going to be New Zealand, Australia. Got some great matchups here coming up again tomorrow, and you're going to be joining us tomorrow as well, right?
I will be here for at least 2 of those games.
Definitely up. And I will be there for at least 2 of those games as well, so I'll see you again tomorrow. And we hope to see all of you again tomorrow and on Sunday. Sunday will be the bronze medal and gold medal games. We hope you enjoyed this game. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to everyone who commented in the comment section as well. Shout out to all of our fans out there. And we hope to see you again tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys. And thank you.
Good
evening,
everyone.
Thank you.